I'm Sean and welcome back to the layout. This is just a little quick before video because I'm going to be in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be working on this bit here, and I just want to do a little bit of a before video before I got too carried away. So I've already done this bit here with the foliage and the retaining wall. I'd put pictures up on Facebook of this bit, but I hadn't done a video with this bit all complete. Like all the rock facing in there from before. I've put some old fencing along the top as well, just to act as like a bit of a barrier and gives it a bit of character. Yeah, now in the early days with Steam, I know there wasn't really much fencing along these high bits, but I just thought it'd break it up a bit. But yeah, it just carries on around there with the retaining wall. So this bit is pretty much done now. This bit, just got to put some old bits of rail and sleepers just on this bit, and maybe just to the side there. Here's going to be a signal box I'm going to show you in a minute. There'll be the Hornby water tower, eventually, and all the main line's done pretty much, apart from the ballast that is I'm waiting to be delivered. But what I've also done was, again, I've put pictures on Facebook of this, but I finally made a cattle dock. It's all completely from scratch. Use the same plastic fencing as I did up there, and basically how I done this, I just had a little base of 2mm cork first, just as like a bit of a base, and then I just made a bit of a base up with some foam board, for all this bit. Just made a bit of a foam board structure, and then I covered the sides with the brickwork sheet that I've been using on the sides, the Falla brickwork sheet, and it really does look quite good. I've done the same pattern that I've done on this bit, I've done on here, and then weathered it. It's not completely finished yet. The first big thing it needs is, animals, some cattle, and I also want to put some lamps on here as well, working lights on here as well, so it'll be all lit up. And got to find a way to put some hay or something in there. Probably just use strands of static grass, but just drop it on there rather than use it as static grass. Just in the corner possibly. But I had to think about that. But from that point, all along is what all this bit all needs doing, which I'm going to be working on in the next couple of days. Now, I have had a bit of a shopping trip today. Now, in that shopping trip, I got, these are just the boxes because they're already on the layout. I'm not attached to the layout, they're loosely. I've got two right hand points and one left hand point of the Unifrog points. So I've got three of them. I've also got another signal box kit. Now this signal box kit, I've got another one of these signal boxes on layout. I'm just gonna show you that now. Now that's the first Pico signal box kit that I got. What worked pretty well. Yeah, I really do like this build and like the kit. And this one is the one by where the coal mine is. But I was going to use the Hornby one, but then I kind of saw this one in the shop again, so I ended up getting this one again. Yeah, so this signal box is going to be going in this space here. So I was going to have the ladder going that way, but I think I probably have to have the ladder going that way, but then got the path there, so it kind of all works out. So yeah, got my 3 points, got the signal box kit, got some more buffers. You can never have enough buffers. Got some rail joiners. Same again, you can never have enough rail joiners. I've also got this kit, the Pico TT120 good shed kit, and I'm gonna have this in this bit here, but I might have to move this track over slightly, which it's not going to be a problem because all this is glued down with PVA, so it's not, well, it's stuck down, but it's not impossible to take back up if needed. But we're just going to see how it goes. I think it'll be alright, but it'll be pretty close to the cork line there, but I think it'll be alright. Yeah, got that. Got some more flexi track. So I did originally buy this flexi track for this front bit, but I think with the offcuts I got, I think I'm going to have enough. So this could be used for the top. And the other good thing is let me see down the end. Probably just trim the end of this bit of track here, so it's flush, and then put some rail joiners on the end of this one, and have a temporary track set up, so the train can go a bit longer than what it was before, which would be nice. Right, so before I go on to what I bought next, I'm going to go over how much this costs. Now, I went to Gaugemaster, which is a very, very good model shop, very good model railway shop that I highly recommend. Now, I've got all that are listed, and it all comes to £94.70, which is very, very good value. It's very good value, considering everything is pretty much gone up and all the rest of it. But I managed to get all that for £94, and that is really good. That is really good. So I highly recommend the Gaugemaster shop. It's a really good shop. So highly recommend. Right, so next bit's on the shopping list, and I'll show you which it's not from the model shop. It's from Poundland. 2 lots of super glue that I'm going to use for the kits. Now, I've used the super glue before and it works pretty well. I've also got some fixed tile grout. Now, you're wondering, why did I get the tile grout? Well, the reason why I got the tile grout is because if I just loosely place where the track's going to be, right, so something like that, and then there'll be a bit in there. I'll put that bit there. Right. Right, so that's how the track work is going to go. So crossing will go over and into this bit and into this bit. Now all this bit is going to be raised, and basically the track here is going to be embedded into like the forecourt or like the yard or whatever you want to refer it to, but basically it's going to be embedded into the road. So I've tried dash clay, dash air drying clay on the other board, and it's all right, but I don't think I had it right, and I tried, I took that up, and then I tried doing some sculpture mold or hydrocal. That didn't quite work, so I'm just going to give this a try. It's got a nice consistency, so I think it'll go a long way. And I think this was £2 in Poundland. And then the packs of glue, there was like £1 each. But yeah, that ends my shopping list. But like I said, this is just a bit of a before video, before I get too carried away with doing this bit. So in a couple of weeks I'll do another video with the progress on this bit. Also, before I end the video, I invested in some of these power connectors, which are really, really good. A lot of YouTube model hour YouTubers have been using them, so I thought I'd take the plunge and give it a go myself, and they are really good. So basically, what happens is, go to this level. So you got all these terminals. They're numbered 1 to 10, but there's different like length space bar. So this is like a 10 one. I think there's like a 12 one. I think this one was a bit shorter. But basically, what happens is that you've got this bit at the bottom that basically screws in to this bit. So basically, it bridges all these terminals. So, for example, this is on the earth side, the negative side, for my track work. So basically, got the main earth there going into terminal 1, and then you've got dropper wires going into the rest of the terminals. And let's say at terminal 2, it then goes on to the next block, and all this bit just connects all these up. So literally, droppers are just coming off the track into a clip and then straight into one of these. So I've got one for the negative, I've got one for the positive. And they're really, really handy bit of kit. And I've got a set of these off Amazon. There was I think it was about £10. Bear with me for now, I'll just get them out of the box. This is what comes with the connectors set. Like I said, you got longer bars and shorter ones. These are the longest ones, that goes up to 12. So you've got 12 connectors there. And also, this plastic plate comes off. You see there's ideal holes there to basically screw it to the baseboard. And also, you could attach your wires on there. So this is the bridging piece. Now what will happen is you get the bridging piece and you screw into the terminals there, so you have a live coming in and then the live going out, or the negative going in and negative going out, and then all your droppers be screwed into those ones there. It also comes with these connectors that you just basically crimp onto the end of the wires. So you crimp these onto the end of the wires, and then you can screw them into the terminals, like what I've done there. Now the other thing you could do with these, I mean, let's say you don't want the whole thing to be live, or you don't want the whole thing to be negative. You want a bit of half and half, right? So let's say, let's look at this 8-bar one, for example. So this is like a 8-terminal bar. What you could do is, like, you got one of these ones, one of these ones. Now if you wanted to use half as negative, half as positive, you could just basically cut down there, like cut halfway, so you got 4 of them ones, and the same with the positive, cut halfway, so you got 4 of the positive ones. And literally, I'll show you the best I can. Literally you can, so let's say I've got 4 in there, I've got 4 in there, you know, and basically if you keep the cut end that side and the cut end that side, you got this bit and this bit that's insulated from each other, so there's no chance of them touching there, there's no chance of touching there, so you have 4 negative feeds going out and 4 positive feeds going out. So for example, you could have negative feed going in there, then 3 droppers, negative droppers, and then 3 positive droppers, and then positive feed going out, for example. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with these. I mean, even if you don't want them as like black and red, you know, like for example, you know, keeping these as black and red for the track power on the loud, like all the DCC bus, you know, I'm keeping it all red and black. But let's say for example you've got an auxiliary bus, like for lights, point motors and stuff like that, you could always, you know, get these again, but instead of having the red, you could like maybe cover it with some green insulator tape or something like that, or paint it so it's like a different colour coding. You know, there's so much you could do with these. You know, they're a really good buy, they're worth investing, and a lot of people have been using them. Now I'm using them on this baseboard, but eventually when this is all done, the rest of the baseboard I'm going to wire up like this. It makes things a lot more clearer as well, you know, when it comes to fault finding. But that's my nice tip of the day. Right, we're going to end the video here, because like I said, it's just a little before and after video. Well, not the after yet obviously, but it's the before. And basically the next few days just be working on this bit. So the next video will come out, hopefully I'll have all this down, all running and ready to go. So thank you for watching, you know, and if you get a chance, please remember to like and subscribe. It will sure help the channel. But again, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.